there's so much opportunity. You can buy things that are discounted right now that are so cheap compared to their real value. And then you got all this inflation that's going to happen with all this crazy money all our governments are printing. I think it's not a exaggeration. It's not only the opportunity of a decade, but it is the opportunity of our lifetime. Mm-hmm. And the opportunity, you know, it favors people that are serious and engaged.
Yeah.
You ain't not at your leisure. It ain't going to come at your leisure. This is that time.
Yeah. Yeah. Right now, it's like, you know, listen, if you're thinking about doing it, you might be, some of the things you might be thinking about are like, yo, what can I, someone says, well, if my schedule's fucked up. You got a month to get your schedule in order, man. Start changing shit around, you know what I'm saying? What if I'm this, what if I'm that? Yo, the only question you need to be asking yourself is, are you trying to miss out on this opportunity or not, right? Because this shit is about to take off again. It's about to take off again. You know, it's like the market, every time there's a crazy crash like we had in March, right? You know, the market rallies, and you want to be able to catch that before it's too late. You don't want to be the motherfuckers buying at the top and shit, you know? And if you think you want to do it, here's the thing. In my experience, there's two types of people. There's eagles and there's pigeons, right? So like, you know, my apartment, the penthouse is right by Central Park. A lot of times I go to Central Park, just kick it and get some air, and I see like some old lady throwing crumbs on the floor, right? And these pigeons, the pigeons are going around eating the crumbs off the floor, And the lady, she's entertaining herself, throwing shit at pigeons and they eating it. Everyone's having a good time, right? Then there's eagles. What does an eagle do when it wants to eat? Well, he certainly doesn't fucking sit around and wait for some bitch to throw bullshit on the floor. Nah, man. Eagle eats what it wants, when it wants. Eagle might fucking rip a goddamn salmon out of a wall, out the stream. It might see another bird flying in the sky. Rip that motherfucker out the sky. Take it back to his nest, man, and eat it next to his American flags. Eagles take what they want from life. Pigeons take what they get. And whatever life throws at them, they're subject to it, right? They're like, I guess I just have to eat these fucking crumbs. Pigeon would laugh. An eagle would laugh at that hoe trying to feed him crumbs, right? He said, bitch, I eat salmon. I eat eagle, I go for mine, I take mine. Now here's the thing. It's not a great example because, there's an animal kingdom, right? Pigeons, they have the way they are genetically, that's how they're built. They're scavengers. They just feed bottom dwellers, feed dirty motherfuckers. They don't have no choice. That's their role in the ecosystem, right? And eagles, that's their role. They're birds of prey, predators. They don't have a choice. They were born like that. The difference with the people is we have a choice. You can be an eagle, motherfucker. You can go after yours. You can go get it. Yeah, it may be harder to grab a fucking salmon out the fucking stream. Eagle probably didn't get it his first time, right? You probably had to work at it. But you think that reward is better than eating crumbs? You think that fresh salmon tastes better than eating crumbs off the motherfucking floor? Handouts and shit? You know what I'm saying? See, the eagles, the pigeons and the eagles, they're born like that. They don't have a choice. You have a choice. You can be a fucking eagle or you can be a fucking pigeon. And it doesn't matter where you started from. Me and Derek both came from fucking bad background, both came from nothing, right? Look at us now. You can do the same. You really can. But if you know this is something you want to do and you don't go after it, that's not eagle shit, man. Would you say that was eagle shit? I wouldn't. Sound like some pigeon shit to me. Sound like you're just gonna sit around and accept whatever life gives you, accept whatever circumstances you are, like a fucking pigeon. And that's okay. Pigeons are useful in this ecosystem, right? Listen. We need Uber drivers. You know what I'm saying? I got here on the Uber. You know what I'm saying? We need people who just don't mind doing that forever. I'm glad. No disrespect to my super, right? I'm glad that he was cleaning out the fucking gutters on it. I'm glad I wasn't about to do that. You know what I'm saying? Surely you jest. if you think I'm gonna be sticking my rich hands in the gutter, right? So we need that shit. So if that's what you want to do, that's totally cool. But if you want something different, you gotta do something different, man. You gotta be. If you want to be something different, you gotta behave different. You can't get different results by doing the same shit. The world ain't crazy enough for that to happen. You know, you gotta be able to switch it up. You gotta be able to do it. You gotta be willing to go out of your comfort zone. To go out of your comfort zone. And it's gonna be scary, man. It's gonna be scary. It's like when there's a, you know, think about everything that goes up has to go down, right? Everything has to go down before it goes up. I want you to think, but walk with me real quick. Walk with me real quick. Think about a mighty like oak tree. Probably it started out as a little acorn. It was in this branch. It was comfortable there. It could have stayed there, but it wouldn't have been able to what? Wouldn't have been able to grow. It would have been, its growth would have been stunted if it stayed there. What happened? It left the branch. It went where? Down. It fell down. Went into the ground. Got rained on, stepped on. But then guess what? It started to grow. Then it became a big oak tree. That's the story of every oak tree you've ever seen. It had to do what? It had to go down before it went up. Eagle, think about the eagle we talked about earlier. When it learned to fly, you know how eagles learn to fly? This mom picks his ass up when he's ready. Drops his ass off the fucking tree, out the nest, out the cover. He was chilling in the nest. Mom came and brought him food, right? He didn't have to fucking go work for himself. He was never challenged. He could just sit there and be a motherfucking baby, right? But the mom picked his ass up, dropped him out the nest, and he was fall. And maybe he didn't learn to fly that time. She'd come swoop down, whoo, get him, put him back in there. And they kept doing that over and over again until his wings hit the air just right. He started flying. But he had to go what? Down before he went up, right? And now that he was able to do that, he was willing to go down before it went up. He was willing to leave his comfort zone. Now it can fly wherever it wants. It can do what it wants. It has what? Freedom. And it was comfortable in the nest, but he had no freedom. He only fed when mom thought it was good for him to eat, or only when, or as much as she wanted him. That's like your employer. That's like your job. You know? Everything has to go down before it goes up. You lift weights. You squat some weights. What? You got to squat. You got to go down before you go up. Right? You lifting weights means it has to go what? Down before you can lift it. Just like your fucking bank account right now. You got to invest. It has to go down before it goes up. You got to be willing to invest. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, your bank, you got to spend some money. You got to make that investment. You might take it, but you got to remember, it's just everything has to go down before it goes up. I can't think of an example that doesn't work like that. Right? Or just stay in your comfort zone. Be a pigeon. You know, it's whatever. It's cool, man. Like I said, we need Uber drivers. It's dope. You know, like the you know what I'm saying, the people in the sweatshop who made my fucking made my dope ass clothes.
Yeah.
We need them, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I got some Jordans that was made by some poor kids. You know, the poor people who made that iPhone. We need them. Right? So like if you want to, but I don't want to join them. No. That's cool. You're very valuable in this society. You know what I'm saying? But if you want something different from yourself, man, you got to be something different. You know? I'll just leave it there. If you're ready for that, you know, this is an opportunity to be something different.
Yeah, I think that there's, you know, my last thoughts is, you know, Brandon asked me to share this with you. Brandon asked me a few times, you know, man, you know, hop on this webinar, share some of this with the guys. Mm-hmm. Will you do a web training and share this with my people? Yeah. So some of the, you know, I know Brandon's, you know, I know him for years. I know how he is. I know his work ethic. I know how smart he is. You know, he's hardworking, very disciplined. And, you know, this is a person that's going for it. He's a champion in every way. Physically, you know, his work ethic in the gym, his diet, his work ethic in business, the way he is with his friends, the way he is with him. You know, Brandon's a champion. Thank you. I'm really proud to have you as a friend, man.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. It means a lot coming from you.
You know, when he asked me to come talk with his people, it's like, you know, man, help some of them the way you helped me with this stuff. And I said I was busy and so on. I was like, yeah, we'll do it sometime. He's like, man, this is, you know, well, there's all this turmoil in the market. Mm. Well, these opportunities available, come help them out with this. Mm. And here I am. And we got to go in just a minute. And I mean 1 minute. So this is the last time I'm going to ask, if you're serious, if you're the type of person that, being a fucking pigeon is just utterly unacceptable to you. If you're the type of person that's disgusted with the idea of staying where you're at, you might be doing really well already. But if you're disgusted with the idea that you would stay where you're at and not grow more, that's exactly the type of person that I love to work with. I know I can help somebody like that a lot.
Yeah.
If you're okay being mediocre, if you're all right being poor, I said a long time ago, that's cool. Be poor, man. You don't need my help for that. You be poor all by yourself. You can do average shit by yourself.
Yeah.
But if you try and do something exceptional, I want you to know that I got your back. I want you to know that, I personally don't want to let you down. I want to see you succeed. If you make that commitment that we're going to work together, you got my sincere commitment. I want to help you succeed. I got to make sure that you do well. I'm going to do everything I can to facilitate that. For my relationship with Brandon, he wants to know, he would not invite me on here. Will you invite me on here if it was going to be some mediocre shit?
Nah, man, you're not fucking on my reputation.
No.
I wouldn't bring anybody who I wasn't proud to display, for sure.
This is, you talk about the winner circle, and this is for people who want to be in the winner circle.
Come on, man.
I want to meet people on here. The thing that I most selfishly want from our relationship, I want you to be winning big, and I want you to be kicking it with Brandon and I, that when I come through New York or wherever we're at, that we got a new friend that's making money, and they're smart, they're engaged, they're prosperous.
Yeah.
I think the prosperity versus poverty is a choice.
Yeah.
Prosperity is a choice. You choose to be poverty. Don't need my help again. Don't need my help for that. But if you want to choose prosperity, I got your back. I need you to click that link right now.
Yeah.
And I do mean I'm getting off of here in seconds. I need you to click that link right now if you want to choose more prosperity in your life. If you want to be able to make more informed decisions that are going to lead to real wealth. You can evaluate stocks, evaluate the markets like an intelligent person, like a big person, like an adult. You can make adult decisions much closer to expert decisions. Click that link right now. Click that link and get in here with us. So I got to go now.
Yeah.
This is the time. Derek Moneyberg here. We're closing down applications and enrollment for my stock market mentoring program. This program is definitely not for everyone. What I've created is an in-depth masterclass on everything you need to know to build real wealth in the stock market. Inside the course, I'm going to be covering stock picking, research fundamentals, futures, options, charts, leverage, foreign exchange, commodities, crypto and other alternative currencies, day trading, and more. This is not a course for dabblers. Many have compared my courses to their MBA level graduate coursework. And if you are currently willing and able to dedicate 10 plus hours of your time and focus every week to something that intense, I urge you, do not apply. This course is going to be dense and comprehensive. It will arm you with an arsenal of investment tools from basic concepts to high-level advanced strategies that I've developed while collaborating with some of the smartest financial minds in the world. For those who are accepted into the program and dedicate themselves to learning and internalizing the content, they'll graduate with a much more comprehensive understanding of how to navigate and win in any market or economic climate. So if you think you have what it takes and you want to join us on this 8-week journey, click that link, apply, and if you are well qualified, a member of my team will reach out for your interview. Do not procrastinate. Apply now because enrollment closes soon.